I probably have panda eyes, haven't looked in the mirror yet, so I am sorry if I am a mess. I was planning on taking you guys with me to the beach today because I have a pretty free day other than to finish a bump date and get it out and edit yesterday's vlog and get that out. But other than that, I haven't really got plans. But it is looking very autumnal idag. Not sure if you guys can hear, but it is pretty damn windy as well. Just realised I had a bit of Norwenglish as well. Idag means today. That happens sometimes. That wasn't on purpose. It's really windy, which I love actually. I'm so happy I'm not having to leave the house today. I could just stay in my pajamas and dressing gown all day if I want. And it's windy and it's cozy and I love it. So I'm gonna finish my coffee and get the videos done. And then I'm feeling pretty lazy, so that actually might take me a while. So we'll see what happens after. Oh, by the way, me and Henrik watched Westworld last night and it is good. I always get a bit worried when series are really hyped up because you just, obviously your expectations are a lot higher. That happened with Stranger Things. Everyone kept going on about how amazing it is, and so I was a bit let down. We tried a couple of episodes of it and just didn't enjoy it that much. But Westworld is really good. Not going to say anything about it because part of the fun is yeah, kind of finding out what the story is. I'm just editing the bump date. I've been sat doing videos and editing all day, and it's 20 to 3. I have got like menstrual type cramps, both in my lower stomach and my back, but they're not very strong and there's no pain. And it's more constant than like coming in waves. So maybe that's a Braxton Hick. Who knows? My stomach is hard, but it's always hard. So I don't know. My mother-in-law popped around earlier and she said that my stomach's dropped. So at least I thought it had, but you know, when I see my stomach every day, it's hard to know. But that's great because it's a sign that things are moving along, so to speak. It's been quite a heavy or YouTube intense day today because I filmed Gravid Uke video. I filmed, edited and uploaded Bump Date, edited yesterday's vlog and published that, and of course I'm filming for today. So basically just been doing YouTube today. But now I'm heading to the shop and I'm going the forest way, so I'm sorry it's a bit dark. Probably a bit windy too. I thought while I'm walking there, I've had a few questions about just general life in Norway, so I thought I'd try and answer them best I can. One question I had was about my experience of being a student in Norway. The thing is, I think it really depends on what university you end up going to. So I was studying at BI, Norwegian Business School. I'm not anymore, but I was. I'd say it was actually pretty easy to get into because, I mean, I've got a journalism degree and I was able to get onto a business degree, and it's a degree that's quite heavy in finance, maths and statistics, which I have had zero experience with, at least not since my GCSEs, which was like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, and didn't do that well. So it was quite easy to get in. Didn't have to go through the whole sort of UCAS experience, which if you're from the UK, you know what that is. It was also pretty easy for me to get a student loan because I'm married to a Norwegian, so that's one thing I would definitely check if you haven't looked into it already, is what if you're from the UK, see what the student loan company can actually give you. It's not possible to live in Norway and not have a loan. You could try and get a job part-time, but it's not that easy to. And unless you worked all the time, then instead of studying, then you're not going to be able to get by. So if you can't get a loan or a scholarship, then it's not going to be easy. You need to find out how you're going to finance yourself. It's an expensive place to live. In terms of student life, again, the thing is I went to a university that isn't really that focused on student societies. I know University of Oslo has a lot more. It's kind of a bigger international crowd, a bit more diverse, so I guess that's why. It's also like an arts and humanities university, whereas BI, it's a business school. So they do have associations, but they tend to be business orientated. So I hope that has helped a bit. I think, just the main thing is to find out how you're going to finance yourself. You have to have a solution to that. It's not like going to, I don't know, somewhere cheaper. But it is a beautiful place to study. And most of the universities are free, and I mean, Norway's an amazing country to be a student with free time and to be able to, go up into the mountains, go snowboarding after school, and I do recommend it. Someone else asked how easy it is to get a job in Norway. Really depends on what area you're planning on working in. I think if you're working in sort of IT, anything with like hard skills, you're not going to have that much of a problem. But if you doing anything else and you're not fluent in Norwegian, it is hard. It took me, I moved to Norway in 2012, and the job I have now I got in 2014, and that was I emailed the communications department out of the blue, and it was just good timing at a time when they happened to have decided they were going to be reaching out to more international students, so having an English journalist on the team was good for them. But had it not come at that time, I don't know if I would have gotten it. And before that, I had just been, apart from once, I had just been working as a waitress, and even those jobs were hard to get, and even for those jobs I had to speak Norwegian. I think the thing is, it all depends on how much you're going to push to find a job. If you are looking for anything other than working in IT or engineering, that sort of thing, then you really need to put yourself out there and meet as many people as you can, and just try to learn some Norwegian. And I think if you really want to live in Norway, it wouldn't be a bad idea to be happy with starting to work at somewhere just like a cafe, and at some point hopefully something will come your way. And someone else asked about just general tips on moving to Norway. That's a pretty big question. My number one tip is to learn Norwegian. I think I had such a rough start in Norway, and as soon as I started to learn Norwegian, it opened up a lot more doors socially and career-wise. Plenty of Norwegians can and do speak English, but you're just going to have more opportunities come to you if you learn Norwegian, even if it's just basic Norwegian, just trying and showing that you're trying. Be prepared to go cross-country skiing is another tip I'd have. It is possibly the main pastime in the winter for all Norwegians, nearly all of them. And it's really fun. Even if you're crap at it like I am, you'll still have fun. And it's so easy once you have your skis. You can, especially like if you live in either where I do, where you can walk for 2 minutes, you can go skiing, or in Oslo, you can get the tube for 20 minutes and you're up in the mountain where you can go skiing. And I'll have to have a think, actually, and get back to you on that one. I'm home now with a hot chocolate. And I think before I was maybe sounded a little bit doom and gloom. That was partly because I was being kicked in quite uncomfortable places by the little one. But also I think it is important to be realistic about moving to a completely new country. And I've mentioned this before, but I wasn't prepared for it because I fell in love with Norway when I came here on holidays, when everything was picture perfect and I didn't have to deal with the reality of life. So personally, I had a bit of a shock to the system when I moved. So I just think it's important to be prepared for the fact that moving to a country is not the same as going on holiday there. It sounds obvious, but you know, it happens like it did with me, where you don't quite realise that until you're there. And so kind of tying in with the question about tips about moving to Norway, I think this also applies with about my experience as a student and my experience of finding work. And this applies to moving to any new country. I think you need to realise that living somewhere is not going to be as nice as when you visit on holiday. And to make that transition easier for yourself, I would say to find out everything that you're meant to do legally, to get your residency, to have a job there or study, whatever you need. Have a list of all the documents you need and where you need to go to get them, where you need to hand them in, and be as practical as you can, and write it all down so that you have some time and headspace to enjoy the fact that you're on this exciting new adventure. And I think if you find yourself in a similar situation to the one I was in, where I didn't really know that many people and I didn't have a proper job to get outside of the house to, make yourself go outside. I remember one thing I did actually was I set up a book club on meetup.com as a way to meet new people. I'm not running it anymore. It's called the Oslo Book Club. And I think now it's got like 700 members or something, which is pretty cool. But I took a step back from it because it got a bit much for me. But it really helped because it was absolutely terrifying to, you know, like run a meeting and meet complete strangers and not know who was going to turn up. But I'm so glad I did it because it got me outside of the house. It meant I met both Norwegians and internationals living in Oslo. And it just gave me something social to do and something to concentrate on while I was trying to adjust to, you know, this new culture and new country and trying to find work. So find something that means you get out the house. And even if that is just to go for a walk, to find out your new surroundings, because hopefully this is going to be your new home for a while. You want to find your favorite cafe or your favorite walk in the woods. And, you know, that's something Norway has plenty of, is a lot of nature that you can just roam around in. Just be careful of moose. Make sure you don't complain to Norwegians too much about Norway and Norwegian culture, because things will be new and different for you, and some things will be annoying because of that. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's moving to a new place where everything is normal for everyone else. You're not going to make friends by complaining to them. Having said that, do complain to your friends or family back home, because if you just pretend everything is happy and okay and that you're loving life, I think you'll end up feeling more frustrated in the end. I think I did that for a little bit. I pretended I loved everything about Norway, and I don't. And I don't love everything about England either. That's just being human. I think it's impossible for any place to be perfect. And I tried to tell both myself and everyone around me that I was perfectly happy. And I think had I been more open about it, might have had an easier time dealing with it. So I realized that my tips have kind of focused a lot on challenges and maybe the negative aspects of moving, but I think that's probably where you need the advice, because moving to a new country is a really exciting adventure. You don't need advice on how to enjoy life. Yeah, I'm just telling you guys what I wish someone had told me. And just so this doesn't end up seeming like I hate Norway, I am really happy now. It just took me a couple of years to get to this point. And I think having a secure job and, you know, making more friends has really, really helped. I think if you like nature and you are okay to not be in an environment where everyone is really outgoing all the time, and your idea of a nice home is to make things kushli, light some candles and read some good books and have the fireplace on, then Norway is the perfect place for you. And that's something I love about Norway. I know I'm rambling now, but I just want to like end on a positive note. There are proper seasons in Norway, and Norwegian lifestyle is to make the most of them. So in winter you'll go skiing, you'll have some good wine in the cabin, you'll light candles, you'll light the fireplace, you'll have slippers on. Everything is super, super cozy. In the spring, as soon as the sun comes out, there's something called utepils, and that's where you have a beer outside. And the first utepils of the year is a massive deal. And then in the summer, you've got boating, you've got more going to the cabin and taking a walk in the mountains, and swimming in the fjord. And then autumn is, yeah, when people start to like get that kushli feeling and start to make things all nice and warm, and my personal favorite time of year. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I think Henrik is coming home with some new glasses for me, finally. I've been waiting for them for a while, and my vision is pretty terrible. One, because it just gets terrible. It just gets worse and worse. That's happened to me for a few years. But also, your eyesight gets worse when you're pregnant, which is really weird. But so I'm basically blind now and would like to get my glasses. So I might show you guys when he gets home. We'll see.
There it is.
Oh, cool glasses case.
Unboxing.
I'm really scared because they might not suit me, because I had to try them on without glasses on, so I don't know if they're gonna... What if you hate them? Will you tell me if you hate them?
Yeah.
Will you really?
Maybe not straight away, because I need to realise first.
Dude, oh no, I'm really scared. At least I get to see your reaction.
Yeah. They're nice.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, everything's too clear. Oh, this is funny. It's making me feel a bit dizzy, actually. I can see things. Do they actually suit me?
Yes.
Okay. I have to take your word for it. If I get 50 comments saying he's lying. Well, thank you.
You're cute.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow.